Hello everyone, this is Rugio Duelis. I'm back with yet another video. It's been a while. So guys, this time I'm back with my Yubel deck, pure this time, no Horus engine. It's been a while since I've done this. I managed to get to top 8 in a close to a 30 player tournament at locals yesterday. I just got the new card, literally, there's 2 copies of the new card. This card is bonkers, and the deck itself is bonkers. I'm really love this deck a lot. It's probably the closest deck, the closest deck I have to a combo. It can be played as a combo or control deck. I really like Yubel. There's less than a month away for Nats, but I wanted to try this deck out with the new support / Phantom of Yubel card. Again, this card is really nuts. It's the new Dragoon DPE Destiny Hero Destroy Phoenix Enforcer card of the format, at least to me. So I don't want to waste your time, guys. Let's get started with the deck profile. Has been a while, but I've been testing with Tempai Dragon for Nationals, but again decided to play Yubel because of the new card. So I'm unsure if I will get Fiendsmith or not, because once Fiendsmith comes out, this deck will be much more powerful. But Fiendsmith is going to be pretty expensive, so I might have to wait on that probably up until August. All right, guys, let's get started. It's a 40 card deck, 15 side and extra. So let's start off by Yubel herself, showing Yubel herself of 1 copy. I could play more. Some people play 2. I'm one of those firm believers. I only believe in playing 1 copy of Yubel, because to me there can only be 1 Yubel. So play her as a one-off. 1 copy of Terra Incarnate, aka Yubel level 11, and I do play 1 copy of the Ultimate Nightmare, aka Yubel level 12. So that's it for the main Yubel cards. That's 3 cards out of the 40 card deck. More on this a bit later. For more engine, 3 copies of Spirit of Yubel. When Fiendsmith comes out, this card will some people will probably cut this to 2 copies. Again, I don't know if I'll play it, but I don't know if I'll play Fiendsmith, but still, I like the deck better pure. Again, I don't know if I'll play Fiendsmith, but again, this card is very important, so you have to max out on it. When it's destroyed, it can special summon Yubel from anywhere, even the banish pile. And on summon, Spirit of Yubel allows us to get a Yubel spell or trap either set or added. For more main engine, 3 copies of Sincerity Lotus. This one, so you tribute it for cost, and it special summons a Yubel from the deck, either Spirit or the regular Yubel. If you guys remember my Yubel Horus deck profile from a few months ago, I'll just try to remind you of what the cards do. Also, this card's other effect is basically during the opponent's turn, it tributes itself for cause. If your opponent activates any monster effect, the effect becomes you destroy a Yubel on the field. This card's final effect during my end phase, it either adds itself back to the hand or special summons itself back to the field if you control the original Yubel. So yeah, max out on this card as well. Now, for the final pieces of the engine, more or less final, 2 copies of the Gruesome Grave Squirmer. I believe I did not have this card in the last deck profile, and I don't quite remember. But yeah, most players play 2 of this. Again, we're going back to the Fiendsmith, because I might have to, but as for Grave Squirmer and Sincerity Lotus, they might have this one will probably be cut down to 1 and D Lotus to 2 if I get the Fiendsmith stuff. But for a pure Yubel deck, this card is definitely a 2 of. Most players play 2, so I think that's the best way of consistency with this card. So yeah, 2 Grave Squirmer. Now for the semi non-engine, I don't play the trap card of this side engine. So 1 copy of the Soul of Shirvara, aka the Red Dog. This card is limited, but again, it has great synergy with Yubel. So 1 copy of this. I do not play the Unchained trap cards, any of the 2. I think while those may be good, I don't want to open up a trap card going second if I know I might go second. So yeah, so one Shervara. That's kind of it for like the main engine slash sub engine. Now for these, so first off, I got these not too long ago after Rarity Collection 2. 3 copies of Fenrir. I said to myself, if Fenrir is not in Rarity Collection 2, I'm going to get a playset of him. So I did. Here they are. Been playing this card in this deck for a little bit. 3, this card has been like, I'd say 60-40, 60% of the time. It's great. The other 40% is like, my opponent still breaks my board, but so far, it's grandiose. He's like kind of like a board breaker, like, again, like better Pankratops, you could say, and better Alpha, the Master of Beats, and Cyber Dragon, and like, you know, those old monsters that were good, that were like great, kind of like beat sticks, board breakers. But yeah, surprised that this card is not limited or banned, but still, it is in the game. So if it's legal, use it. So yeah, triple Fenrir. Now for the hand traps. I think this is the right ratio of hand traps for this deck. Truly believe that. But we're in a format where you got to play at least like, let's say 15 or 18 hand traps. But but in my case, I'm playing 12. So triple Ash, triple Imperm. Maybe I should say this for last. But again, this is a hand trap. So triple Droll. This card is going to be bonkers next format, especially against this type of deck. And triple DD Crow. Yeah, so 12. I think this is a good ratio. 12 hand traps like these in this deck is fine. All right. Let's get these guys out of the way. Probably some of the best hand traps to play this format and the next format as well. And now for the spell engine. Besides the Imperms, we only play one more trap in this deck. But let's head over to the spells. Not sure if I had it the last time I did the deck profile. It's been a while. 3 Nightmare Throne. And 3 Nightmare Pain. This card is bonkers, and so is this one. And again, with Fiendsmith, this card might have to be cut off. But honestly, again, I know I keep reiterating my deepest apologies for those who don't like repetition. But I like playing it pure. Don't know if I'll get Fiendsmith. These 6 cards, very important. That's all you need. Let's move on a little bit faster. We're almost there. Almost done with the main deck. So this was a tough decision for me, but I decided to cut this card off a bit. I cannot believe we actually live in a world where this card is like, has been power crept in a way, or like not that useful, like as a board breaker. But 2 copies of Super Polymerization. Decided to cut the third one. I think 2 is fine. It's worked out pretty well. But yeah, board breaker / great card for Yubel. Now for the one-off spells, I am playing this. It hasn't been too bad. 1 copy of Mature Chronicle. Funny enough, there have been moments where I've actually if I go first, I get to this, I can easily get to up to 5 or more Yubel monsters on the board and search for Super Polymerization. That's this card's main purpose. Fifth effect, to search for Super Polymerization. I could use some of the other effects too, but you mainly want to search Super Polymerization unless you find yourself in a situation in which like you need a comeback and maybe activate the second effect, which says add one of your banished cards to your hand, or like the first effect, which is special summon a Yubel from your graveyard. But I think it's only for the original Yubel, so yeah. I may or may not cut it. It's working out fine for now, so yeah. That's the Mature Chronicle. And again, for the one-off spells, now for the limited cards. This, which is basically 4 copies of the field spell. This, it's a one-off, but it has come in clutch sometimes whenever I needed it, so it's useful. And this, to get to the Samsara D Lotus or the Gruesome Grave Squirmer. Yeah, these cards are limited for a reason, so that's it for the spells. And the final card in the deck, the one copy of Eternal Favorite. When this archetype did not have its full support yet in Phantom Nightmare in February, you had to run at least 2 copies of this card. Now it's just 1, but people are not playing this anymore. I still think this card is very, very, very decent. Every turn you can special summon a Yubel, and if you find yourself in a situation where like you have the original Yubel and you have this on the board and you haven't used this card's first effect, you can use the second one and super poly the board away. So yeah, the 1 copy of Eternal Favorite. Would you look at that? We're at the 10-minute mark. Kind of halfway almost there. All right, guys. Then for the extra deck, 2 copies of Phantom of Yubel. Like I said earlier, this card is bonkers. So basically, just like all the Yubels cannot be destroyed by battle, you take no battle damage involving it. Its materials is like requires 1 Yubel and 1 Fiend with 0 attack and defense. Any Fiend with 0 attack and defense. You bring her out, and her effect is quick effect. You can trigger her for cost. Any monster effect becomes destroy a Yubel in hand, field, or deck. And yeah, you can contact fusion her as many times as you want to, but you can use her as fusion material. But yeah, this card it was definitely very, very, very useful in my games yesterday. So 2, I might get a third one. Right now it's going for like $60 or more, but I may get a third one because again, this card it goes by really quick. Like you summon 1, then next sometimes you can summon up to 2 in the very first turn. But I may need to get a third copy because this card is that good and that powerful. All right, I cut this down to 1. Yubel, the Loving Defender Forever. It did win me some gains and definitely managed to come close in some games. I was playing 2 copies, but I decided to cut it to 1. Maybe I'll go back to 2, but it depends on if it's good or not for the deck and consistencies and all the consistency and all that type of stuff. So yeah, for now 1 is fine. Super Poly targets, Mud Dragon, Garura. You guys know what these 2 do. Come here. We are playing the Unchained cards, so Soul of Yama and Soul of Rage. This searches for the Red Dog, and this lets you link summon during the opponent's turn using one of your opponent's link monsters, a la IP Masquerena. And speaking of IP Masquerena, we do play her, and of course the ultimate Link 2 monster in the game, SB Little Knight. Just in case. Then we play 1 Almirage. It does come in handy if your opponent Veilers or Imperms and Sarah D. Lotus. Just link it up. You have it at the very least. You manage to get to a what's this name? A Gruesome Grave Squirmer. You can summon the Grave Squirmer, link away the D. Lotus, pop the Grave Squirmer with its own effect, then use the Grave Squirmer's graveyard effect to bring back the D. Lotus and try to do the effect. Almirage is still useful in that regard. So yeah, 1 Barricade board blocker. This has not been popping up lately. I might cut this, but this card's effect is really, really good to protect your field spell and your continuous spells. So yeah, more testing needs to be done. I may or may not cut it. People want this banned, but I think this card is pretty fair. I don't think it needs to be banned, but if it gets touched, it's fine. She was a little bit useful today. Sadly, I'm not too experienced with the deck to know how to use her properly, but I think eventually I will. But yeah, she was pretty good. She did almost almost-ish guarantee me a game, but it wasn't enough. One of my opponents was playing Infernoid, so. And final 3 cards in the deck. Train package for burn and OTK purposes. And the Vorudras, which once I learn my combo lines better, I'll be able to bring this card out. I think if you're playing Yubel and you go first, you got to bring this card out as soon as possible because you need that Omni Negate for spells and traps as well, not just monsters. This deck is very vulnerable to board breakers, so this card you can bring it out faster with this deck, and you should bring it out turn 1, no exceptions. There are times when I could not bring him out because I don't know all the lines well, and again, I just got the new fusion, so I didn't know how to use the new fusion at 100% capacity. So yeah, there's that. And that's it, guys. I never told you guys about my matches. Sorry, I forgot about that. It's been a while, and I wanted to try to speed things up with the deck profile. Oh, my apologies. I think I forgot about the side. Ugh, my goodness. So for the side deck, we're playing this again. This is for time to gain life points. We are playing Pot of Prosperity going second, which is way where there's a will. I activated this once. My opponent let me resolve it, but it came in handy because I managed to get a friend rib with this card. We're siding the Duster, yes. Last time I believe I was main decking it. We're back to side decking it. May or may not. We need as much main engine and like hand traps as possible. So yeah, this card in the side, it will be on the side for now. 2 Lightning Storms. Decided to cut these out of Tempai and put them in this deck. Have not used them yet. More testing will need to be done, but yeah, I'll see if this works well with this deck. Time will tell. That's 5 cards. Let's move on a little bit faster. 2 more talents. I was playing this as a 1 in the main deck, but there were moments where I main decked this and my opponent never used any monster effects, so I decided to side it. I may cut 1. Not sure if 2 in the side deck is that okay. But yeah, more testing needs to be done. Then there's this. To search for any of these, of course. Or the one-offs in the deck. Anti-spell, this was useful. And the final 6 cards in the deck. Let me get these guys out. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit exhausted. I just woke up not that long ago. 3 Solemn Judgment. And 3 Solemn Judgment 2.0, aka Iron Thunder. This did come in handy, but I believe in round 3 against the Infernoid player, I opened up 1 of each, but I did not have enough to combo off. Had I had enough engine to combo off, then and set these 2, I probably could have ended that duel in a draw. So yeah, that is it. That is my side deck. I never told you guys of like what were my matchups. So it was 5 rounds. I went 3-2 in the tournament. So round 1, I believe it was against like a Trap Paleozoic deck. Round 2, I went up against the Zombie Synchro Milling Strategy deck. It was a deck that years ago basically would synchro summon like it's nobody, a zombie deck that would synchro summon like it's nobody's business and basically mill your entire deck. I managed to beat that. Thanks to Droll and Lockbird for that. Round 3, the Infernoid. The Infernoid player sadly 2-0'd me, but the first game was very, 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 very long. Like, it was a grind. He did beat me, and then he also beat me in time. I just couldn't open up enough engine. I did open up the Iron Thunder / Solemn Judgment no cards, but still, I didn't have enough engine to combo off. So again, yeah, lost round 3 to the Infernoid player. Round 4, Branded. I 2-0 him, but he did give me a bit of a challenge. And round 5, it was a rank 4 Shark. Now I remember, rank 4 Shark. I did win that one in time. I did manage to like do a little bit of damage in round 3, and I just had too much on the board, and there was not much he could do. And yeah, those were my matches. 3-2. I came in top 8. Managed to get some packs. But yeah, guys, that is the Yubel Deck Profile. I will be playing this deck more often. And of course, I really like it. It's an anime deck, like why not? Level 10. Yubel is kind of like, in a way, the closest spiritual thing to like the god cards for me right now. It's a level 10 monster. It's dark. It's a fiend. It's an anime card. Never thought that she of all cards would like get this immense amount of support. I do hope that someday, somehow, Konami makes support like this, but for the Egyptian god cards, it's just a one. I mean, again, she's a card that it didn't see a lot of play. Maybe like a stall burn strategy or something like that, but very niche. But now she has her own archetype, And honestly, almost all of her support cards are awesome. Like, you can play all of them. Even this one, the Continuous Spell, the Trap card, which are the ones that you see less, but you can still play them in Yubel, and like, they're pretty decent. But I love this deck. We're playing more often. Maybe not that often, maybe with some friends and maybe at locals. But I'm going to be play testing with Tenpai Dragon for Nationals. It's less than a month away. So yeah, guys, we're on the 20-minute mark. That's it. Pardon any mumbling. Oh, and one last thing I forgot to mention. I finally got some new back sleeves. I got double sleeves. They were a little bit dirty. I did mention that in my last like 2-3 videos. So I finally changed them up for all my decks. Floowandereeze, Yubel, Tenpai Dragon. So yeah, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll be back soon with some more deck profiles, probably Tenpai Dragon, because I will be playing that deck a lot more in preparation for Nationals. I'll do a deck profile on my Tenpai Dragon deck for Nationals, no matter how, doesn't matter how far I taught. Who knows, maybe I'll play Yubel and Floowandereeze on the side events if I don't go too far, or maybe even Tenpai Dragon, but only time will tell. I'll also, like, maybe I'll do a video on the new Tenpai Dragon cards and the new Max C card that we're getting in Infinite Forbidden, which is an X-Core set, and some other stuff. Who knows? Right, guys? That's it. That is the Yubel deck profile. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you did not get bored with it. And again, this deck is bonkers, and this card is bonkers. All right? See you soon, everyone. Play if you can. 2 thumbs up.